This was a fun episode to watch while fighting a cold. Let's get to it, shall we?
Will you stop the clatter, you bubble-headed booby?
Hit me.
The Outer Limits.
Thomas Kellender, aka Dr. Kelly, has a proposition for convicted murderer Chino Rivera. Become a test subject in a dubious teleportation experiment that also happens to be an alien exchange program with the planet of Chromo.
There'll be no special privileges or rewards for it. It'll be taken into consideration by the parole board when they review, but that's all.
Though Chino's fellow inmates refuse the offer, Chino agrees. For purely humanitarian reasons, of course. Before the experiment can begin, Chino is carefully examined by doctors and exposes his naked torso for the audience. He is given a diagnosis of perfect health, which he celebrates with a nice, soothing cigarette. He toys with Kelly by acting like he's changed his mind, before becoming indignant about how actors are treated.
It's take off your shirt, put on your shirt. Cough, breathe. Is that how you treat a man?
Eventually, the first part of the experiment can begin, and one of the Chromoites is brought to the Earth, where he immediately stumbles around like a freshman at a frat party, distracting everybody long enough for Chino to make a break for it. He almost makes it, too, but doesn't take into account that the windows are extensively booby-trapped. A few days later, Chino is confronted by Dr. Kelly, who is shocked to learn that the convicted murderer serving a life sentence would use the experiment as a means to attempt escape. Meanwhile, the visiting alien is left completely unattended to throw some goop in a nearby lake. When one of the other scientists finds this goop, unaware of where it came from, he looks at it through an impossibly blurry microscope and determines that it is a new form of life. Naturally, he then devises a way to kill it.
That sounded awfully cold-blooded, didn't it?
As he begins his alien spawn genocide, the visiting Chromoite drowns him in the lake. Chino then awakens to see that the window is open, which makes him so angry that he throws his left shoe at it. As he runs, he literally trips over the body of Dr. Richardson and is immediately recaptured. I guess he should have just kept his shoe. When Dr. Kelly informs Chino that the convict is the prime suspect, Chino acts indignant and reveals his morally justifiable backstory, which his nurse, the empathetic Dr. Julia Harrison, believes without reservation. Even though he doesn't believe it, Dr. Kelly still thinks Chino is the best person to act as an ambassador to an alien planet, and so the second half of the experiment commences. However, it is a failure, and while Chino passes out from exhaustion, Dr. Harrison is nearly attacked by the Chromoite visitor. Though personally, I think he just wants a hug. She waits for things to calm down before telling anybody about this, but the late exposition dump changes nothing. Hey look, it's Dabney Coleman without a mustache. I bet he'll be an important character. Oh, never mind. The creature overtakes the control room in a panic and desperately fiddles with the controls to send himself back to Chromo, but in a shocking twist, Dabney Coleman has survived long enough to warn the others in a hilariously bad bit of voice dubbing.
The lab! Stop him!
Hang on, I gotta play that again.
The lab! Stop him!
Anyway, what follows is a climactic confrontation between the Chromoite and Chino, with Chino ultimately shooting the alien in the lab. Everyone else arrives, Chino hands Dr. Kelly the gun, and the Chromoites admit to having lied about their intentions.
Chromo soil no longer yields. Seeking overtake planet.
They all have a good laugh about it, and the episode ends. This one has a lot of potential, but I don't think it really lives up to it. I'll start with the acting, which is excellent, especially from Henry Silva and Diana Sands, who play Chino and Harrison respectively. I appreciate the way they treat the character of Chino as an unsettling, wisecracking, and untrustworthy convict whose morality is left up to the audience to decide, much as the morality of the Chromoites is open to interpretation. I also dig the design of the alien, which, even though it looks like something out of a Mucinex commercial and is obviously a man in a suit, is going for a less humanoid shape. The way it moves its claw hands is particularly creepy. However, on the whole, the story is uneven, with some questionable narrative logic highlighted by the fact there's an alien running around that no one seems all that interested in. And even though it hits you over the head with the titular metaphor about Chino being treated like a mouse, the story can't seem to decide what it's actually trying to say. The narrator seems at a loss too, as he opens the episode talking about dreams and closes by talking about hunger, things that are only barely referenced by the plot. And that's all I have on the mice. Now, as always, do all those YouTube-y things and check out my Patreon and all that other good stuff. But until next time, this is the Unapologetic Geek, telling you to never be ashamed of what you love. As long as you're not hurting anybody.
The lab! Stop him!